So first off, thank you for coming here, dude.
Oh, hey, dude. My pleasure, man. It's fucking rad.
I guess just like give us a brief history of like your skate career and life, like how you started, when, like where you grew up skating. And
yeah, dude. I started skating 35 years ago, 1985. I saw Back to the Future in the movie theater with my grandma and like walked out and I was like, dude, that's what I need to do is ride a skateboard. And I knew where there was this little banana board by my house, just abandoned. And I went straight to it and fell in love with it, man.
Yeah.
I never got into, I skated a little bit of mini ramp, but I never got into transition skating too much. Like I've never dropped in on vert. I would have a hard time doing anything mega, but I'm determined to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm determined to go.
Dude.
Yeah.
Did you grow up here?
Oh, dude, I grew up in 5 different countries. Born in England, moved to Brazil, then I moved to Venezuela, then I moved to Connecticut, then I moved to Miami, then back to England, and then to Canada, and I was only 12 up to that point.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All over the place.
Skateboarding was all in England. I went back to England from Canada. And I was in London, England for all 4 years of high school. Yeah, it was rad, man. Yeah. Like in America, like kind of your life starts at 16 when you can drive. Mm-hmm. But I grew up in London, England, where like I had all the same freedom, you know, with just public transportation and my skateboard. So like you kind of grow up, I don't know, you get more freedom at a younger age in England.
Totally, yeah. It's like I grew up in New York and
yeah, same deal. Yeah, it's much more multicultural too.
Totally.
Yeah, like New York is as international as the U.S. gets.
Yeah. Who were like some of your favorite skaters and like?
Dude, I was the first skater to like blow my mind was Nodis.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, seeing Wheels of Fire when he ollied over the industrial trash can. And actually, my girl just got me an old school Nodis Panther model.
Oh, I gotta get one of those for the wall.
And dude, have you seen they have these special trucks where the wheels are light bulbs. So that's what we got it for. So it's like we'll flip on the light and there's a Nodis model and it'll have 4 light bulbs. It's the lamp.
You gotta show me where you got that.
Oh, dude, I can't wait. It still hasn't showed up, but I can't wait. And that's the Panther model. It's just gonna get me so stoked because Nodis was the first one to blow my mind. And then after that, I mean, Public Domain, Ray Barbie, and of course Hensley and the 8th Street, like Vista.
Vista, dude.
Vista rips, dude.
Vista rips. It's crazy. I watched, Danny Way has that like documentary.
Which one? I mean,
Waiting for Lightning
sure,
or whatever. And
sure.
There's a part where they're talking about there was a ramp that he used to skate all the time, and there was a shot where it's like they show the street name, and I'm like, dude, that's like it's literally this street right here.
Right.
And so that was funny. I was talking to Danny. I was like, dude, Maryland's. He's like, yeah, dude, we used to skate. It was literally right there. Dude, small world.
Yeah,
that was my next question. Like, what were your thoughts when you first saw the Mega Ramp, and then your first thoughts when you saw like this setup?
I mean, shit. When I first saw the Mega when the DC video came out, like everybody else. And the crazy thing about it, that they used Metallica in that video for the Mega Ramp scene.
Yeah.
And I was hanging out with Lars Ulrich, the drummer of Metallica, in a hotel room, and I said to him, dude, Lars, your music has been stolen again. And I put on the DC video, and it was like, he was just like, what?
Was he pissed?
Not even, dude. He said that he was honored to have his music in there. And I wonder even if they didn't license it. Who knows? Maybe they did, because it was like, I think at a point when everything needed to be legit. But yeah, that was a really cool experience showing that to Lars. And I mean, dude, it was just mind-blowing. And then the re-release of it was even gnarlier with the grind bar.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, they have it at the X Games, and it's like, we see like the Jake Brown slam. Like, has anything changed from when Jake Brown took that gnarly slam to the flat to like make that not happen again?
Yeah, so that was the last year they had just the 2 jumps. It was like the big one was here and the smaller one was here. And so he was goofy, and so what happened is he tried to carve it as much as he could, so he landed. And he was like landing and trying to carve over and set up to go backside. And I think what happened is just the way he was carving so hard with all that speed, by the time he got here, his legs just like compressed. And so the very next year, they're like, all right, we're going to put 2 of them just to make it even for Goofy and regular. Right. When it was in the Staples Center, I think it was a 70-foot jump. And so they made it like 65 or 64. They shortened the gap a little bit. And even in the Staples Center, they had to like tighten it up. There wasn't as much flat bottom before you hit the quarter pipe. So you were hitting a 70-foot jump and then hitting the quarter pipe with even less flat. Like, I skated the last 2 years it was in the Staples Center, and like, I'll just never forget like hitting the big jump for the first time in there. It felt insane, dude. Like, just...
Have there been like life-changing injuries on Mega Ramp?
Shit, I almost broke my neck back in 2005. I took this crazy weird slam. Like, I did 2 900s back to back, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it at X Games this year. I hadn't done it at an X Games, and I was like, at the end of the day, I was like, dude, I gotta do 3 in a row. If I can do 3 in a row, like, I got them, you know? And so I don't know what happened, dude. Like I said, I did 2 in a row right before, and I went up and I just went to spin, and it's like, as soon as I took off, I just like got lost. I didn't know where. It was the scariest feeling ever. I couldn't tell like where I was in the air, whether I was upside down or whatever, and I was just like, oh shit, this is not good. And I pretty much landed like head first halfway down the transition, like hit my head and flipped back. And I remember as soon as I hit, I heard my whole spine go. And I didn't get knocked out, but I got the fireworks special, you know, and just flipped back. And I just immediately thought, I was like, oh, I just broke my neck.
That's what I call an I'm not okay moment.
Yeah. And at first I was just like, can I move stuff? I was like, okay, I think I can move shit. Like, let's go to the hospital. And so I drove straight to the hospital and got
drove?
No. Someone that was with me, I got x-rays and everything. And I ended up like compressing these 2 discs, like C1 or C2 or whatever, and they were like touching. And it was like a month and a half before X Games. It was terrifying, dude. I took that slam. I didn't try him again until I got to X Games, like not even in practice. I just waited to the contest, and I somehow did it, dude.
And you got the gold?
I got 2nd that year, yeah. Bob made it.
Damn,
shit.
Bob.
Dude, yeah, Bob's the man. How and when did Jackass start, and like, do you think skating influenced that, or like fueled some of that, like
100%, dude.
Shit, and like trying to push yourselves to like...
I love this question too, man. I fucking... Like, the origin of Jackass is so skateboard centric, you know? It's just like 100% from skateboarding. And like, if you go back to the 1980s, there was I love this whole, like, I love this history.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 46, and like, in my lifetime, the polyurethane wheel, the fucking flat ground ollie, like all this like street skate. When I was street skating as a kid, like, you know, we weren't that far behind like the street skating coming out.
Yeah.
You know, it was in its infancy, and then it just... So I was like a part of that thing. But back then in the 1980s, there was a lot of pink, you know, like everything was kind of coming from the surf industry. And the very first skateboard videos to come out in the 1980s were very careful to not like scare mom. All the money coming into the skateboard industry at that time was like based on like mom being okay spending. So all the skateboard videos had slam sections that were like really careful not to be too scary. Like in the Powell videos, it was like, oops, you know, you know, they'd have these like weird clown sound effects. Nothing was like that gnarly. And then, you know, at a certain point, Steve Rocco came along, and he was this like the first like conglomeration of skateboarding. He was like the Bill Gates of skateboarding, you know. He had the World Industries, which was a conglomeration of companies that just had like a monopoly on skateboarding. And he was like, yo, I'm not fucking kissing mom's ass anymore. You know? Like, and he put out the first video that was like really just celebrated skateboarding for just being gnarly. It was called Rubbish Heap. And that video was the first video project that Spike Jonze ever made. Oh, yeah, I didn't know that. Spike Jonze was a photographer for World Industries, And then Rocco got the idea, I'm gonna make this crazy gnarly skate video, and they had nobody to edit it. It was just Spike Jonze got the job kind of by default, I think.
Whoa.
And like that video came out, and it was like we're gonna be gnarly on purpose. And the thing about skateboard videos was that even a skater couldn't watch like a full hour of skateboarding without kind of like,
yeah.
You always had to break up the skateboarding with some kind of like skits or like just crazy like, you know, mayhem. And that was part of skateboard culture. And I wasn't that good at skateboarding, so I made it my personal like job to like just film gnarly stuff to like provide that comic relief in skateboard videos. And then when the Big Brother thing was happening, they had the craziest of all videos. And Jeff Tremaine was making these Big Brother videos, and he went to Spike Jonze and he was like, Spike, everybody's really like loving our videos, but they like all the crazy stuff. I think if we take the skating out, then what's left over would be a rad TV show. And they just put together a video of like, you know, the crazy stuff that wasn't skateboarding, and that did the trick.
Were you in that first?
Yeah. Yeah, I was in that reel. I think I was like drinking bong water and setting myself on fire or whatever. But it was really that, you know, it's crazy because Bam kept skating and doing all the crazy stuff too. And I just like was sort of threw my hands up. I'm like, I'm not that good at skating. I'm just gonna do the dumb crazy stuff. It was the dumb crazy stuff that actually, you know, got more, I guess, like mainstream marketability, which was lucky for me. But I wish I would have kept skating more, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like off and on, every so often I'll be born again. Like, oh, I'm gonna get all motivated, I'm gonna get a trick. But yeah, it's always in spurts over the decades. But yeah, that's how it started, man. It started from skating. And dude, I credit skateboarding with like teaching me everything that I feel is important in life. You know, like just, you know, sacrifice, like the just willingness to like get hurt and just get back up and keep going, you know?
Yeah.
The persistence, there's like the work, man. Like skateboarding just weeds out pussies, you know? Like 1985 when I started skateboarding, there was a skateboard under every Christmas tree in the world almost, you know? Yeah. Everybody saw that movie, every kid wanted to skate, and that Christmas, like every kid found out, wait a second, this shit's hard, and I'm falling down and getting hurt. All the pussies just put it away. And then what we found was skateboarding just isolated, like this group of just dedicated, like fucking warriors who are just willing to work so hard. And that's like what skaters are, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's a really fucking special thing. And I'm just so honored that in my lifetime, you know, that it's gone from its infancy into this thing.
Yeah.
And there's just, it weeds out quitters, man.
Yeah, I feel like skating's really taught me, like that's the main lesson, is just like working hard for, you know, trying a trick for days or weeks or whatever. And
fuck yeah. You hear people say, oh, I learned everything I needed to know in kindergarten. And I feel so strongly that I learned everything from skateboarding.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I've learned that lesson so many times with skating. Like, I feel like I can do anything if I try it long and hard.
Well, you actually can. You know?
No, but I feel like it's the same for, like, almost, like, I'm no different than any, like, I just, you know, I have the drive, and I feel like anybody's capable of doing shit they put their mind to.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, I remember fucking, I reposted, before we met, like years ago, you did a kickflip 720 on a regular vert ramp. And I posted
the heel
it.
Flip 7. That's
the heel flip 7, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Heel flip 720, I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah, but that was one of those ones. It was literally months of trying that just to get one that I caught, and I was like, oh, I think I can do this now. How many things have you shoved up your butt? How many different things?
As far as like real penetration, I mean, I've tucked like fireworks, you know, in there, but that's not like really getting in there. The only thing that really got in there, I'd say, was like a beer bong. Yeah, like when I beer bonged for the butt chug. And then
Get you super fucked up?
no, not. I mean, I was such a mess at the time anyway. It wouldn't have even landed on the radar. But on the first Jackass movie, Ryan Dunn did the toy car up the butt thing, which was initially supposed to be my idea. But I told my dad about it, and he was so disappointed that I backed out. And so it's like Ryan Dunn did this, put the car up his butt, like in my place. He kind of did that for me. And now as we go into like, this last hurrah, I feel like, as a way of honoring Ryan's memory, where he's not here, like, I told Jeff Tremaine, I'm like, my asshole is your asshole, like, we can, like, let's just fucking get something special in there so I can be like, this time I did it for Ryan. And I don't know what that looks like.
Oh my God.
When Jackass was like really new, I remember like everybody's trying to figure out like ways to prank people and stuff. I wrote this email where I was like, yo, dude, I just fucking was partying so hard and like I just realized like if I fucking get loaded enough that like you could hang me upside down from a tree and I'll just be out. You guys can do whatever the fuck you want to me. And because I sent that, that got me out of. They're like, okay, well, pranking Steveo's not gonna, but I didn't like get any. That actually got me out of anything bad happening to me. And it's the same experience now with my asshole is your asshole. Like it takes the fun out. It's like, oh well, there's like. So here where I'm trying to get like stuff up my butt. They're looking to go to the guys who are like, I will not. You'll never, open for business.
Was there ever a moment in all of Jackass where, like, was there any one thing where you were like, oh, dude, this is pushing it, or like? Sure.
There was some stuff that was not okay. Like, I remember, like, there was at a ski resort, they wanted to have the whole cast in a bounce house. And just send it down like the Olympic thing where it goes off the kicker, But the deal was that what keeps the bounce house inflated is this huge generator. So this gigantic, like, heavy, like, steel box with the generator in it would have to be trailing behind us. And it would go off the kicker. And if our heads aren't crashing into each other, we got this box.
Yeah.
So we all said, yo, fuck that. There's another one where it was just a dumb idea to like, duct tape me to a mechanical bull, which seems kind of funny. But in my view, like, at a certain point, you got to fall off that thing, and if you're attached to it, then you're going to have, like, a spinal cord injury. So, yeah, I said, fuck that. I mean, that's kind of my view on things is, like, I don't want to get paralyzed and like, spinal cord and brain. I want to, like, kind of leave that off the table. I'm bad at it, man. Like,
dude, it seems like you guys have been pretty damn lucky.
Real lucky, man. Real lucky. Like, I can't give away, like, what we've been doing, but, like, I broke my rule. Like, we did 1 week of filming, and, like, I even called it out. I'm like, I said I wasn't going to have any fucking brain or spine. Like, here I go. Not even 1 week in, I'm already breaking my rule. And sure enough, I wake up in the fucking stretcher going to the hospital.
But you're all good.
Yeah, well, I guess, like, so far.
How wrecked is your body just from all the years of abuse, and is there any, like, residual pain that you're still dealing with, and is there anything that you do to, like, recover?
I'm surprisingly, like, unharmed. Like, I'm in much better shape than you would imagine Steveo to be in. And, like, over the years, every once in a while, I've gone to, like, chiropractors and who are familiar with my body of work. And they'll take an x-ray, and every one of them will be like, dude, you're Keith Richards.
Yeah.
Like, how? I don't know how. Like, but now, this last trip to the hospital that I just referenced, they did x-rays and MRIs and stuff, and they said my brain looked all right, but that I have degenerative disc disease in my neck, which isn't, like, terribly shocking. Part of me thinks, like, headbanging is, even as much the responsible for it. But, like, I was talking to Ronda Rousey, and she said she's got the same thing. It's not, like, anything that's, like, causing me pain or holding me back. But my view on it is, okay, so, like, hurry up and get rad while I can before it does become inhibiting.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't have any,
nothing
like,
hurts or aches or...
You know, like there's certain joints that will fuck with me from time to time. Like sometimes my wrists aren't good. Like my wrists won't bother me on that handstand, but sometimes they will. Just different parts of my body will just act up sometimes, but nothing that causes me real pain getting up in the morning, and nothing that I view as like really, you know, permanent injury. The only permanent problems I have are like bad fake teeth and shitty tattoos. and I have an esophagus condition, and that, who knows what that's from. That's like acid reflux causes it. Then there's just my whole history, and you know, in general, I'm in pretty good shape. You know, for a 46-year-old dude, I've just been sending it, dude. Yeah, I feel pretty fortunate, man, and it's good that way. Like, my view on the human body is that it is not a temple. It is a fucking amusement park, you know? It is to be ridden, you know? Like...
Ride it out, dude.
Yeah, and here I'm sitting here 46 years old feeling pretty good about, like, the use I've gotten out of my body, you know? And I'm sure you do, too.
Totally. Yeah, I feel pretty fortunate to have gotten away with a lot of things and not have had, you know, too many crazy injuries or broken bones over the years, but
yeah, dude. Yeah, dude, it's an honor to be your bro, dude.
Yeah,
it really
likewise, man. I'm stoked you came out, and
yeah, dude.
It's sick.